The latest from West Asia now. Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu took on favourite enemy Iran, claiming new revelations about its nuclear weapons program. WION's West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani, however, notes that much of Netanyahu's revelations are old hat and that the International Atomic Energy Agency, or the IAEA, had already documented extensive details of Iran's nuclear program. So what is the Israeli Prime Minister talking about?
55,000 pages.
The largely pro-Western international media is going to town with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's latest broadside against the Iran nuclear deal.
First, Iran lied about never having a nuclear weapons program. 100,000 secret files prove that they lied. Second, even after the deal, Iran continued to preserve and expand its nuclear weapons know-how for future use. Why would a terrorist regime hide and meticulously catalog its secret nuclear files if not to use them at a later date? Third, Iran lied again in 2015 when it didn't come clean to the IAEA as required by the nuclear deal. And finally, the Iran deal, the nuclear deal, is based on lies. It's based on Iranian lies and Iranian deception. 100,000 files right here prove that they lied.
US President Donald Trump was quick to respond, claiming the intelligence proved his assertion that Iran was cheating and the deal was the worst ever. Ditto his newly appointed Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. But UK, France and Germany, the three European signatories to the Iran deal, are still backing it with enough reason. The existence of Project Ahmad, Iran's designation for the nuclear program, was known to the International Atomic Energy Agency in 2015 when it filed its final assessment on Iran's nuclear capabilities. The IAEA report read, and I quote, "The information indicated that activities commenced in the late 1980s and became focused in the early 2000s within projects in the Ahmad Plan. The agency assesses that before the end of 2003, an organizational structure was in place in Iran suitable for the coordination of a range of activities relevant to the development of a nuclear explosive device. Although some activities took place after 2003, they were not a part of the coordinated effort." Netanyahu said there was now proof that Iran planned to conduct tests and feasibility studies to build nuclear weapons, but the IAEA knew about this too. Their 2015 report read, and I quote, "By November 2011, the agency had received information from member states indicating that prior to 2004 and between 2005 and 2009, Iran had undertaken computer modeling studies of various component agreements which were only specific to nuclear explosive configurations based on implosion technology." Netanyahu's other so-called revelation that Israeli intelligence came to know that Iran had studied how to integrate a nuclear warhead on their Shabab 3 medium-range ballistic missile was known to the IAEA and the US. The body's final report read, and I quote, "Extensive information provided to the agency within the alleged studies documentation prior to November 2011 indicated detailed project work conducted in Iran in 2002-2003 to examine how to integrate a new spherical payload into the existing payload chamber of the re-entry vehicle for the Shabab 3 missile. Many documents still need to be analyzed and further details could emerge. For now, the most relevant discovery is that at a certain point, Iran moved its entire nuclear-related documentation to a secret location, a decision Tehran will need to explain." In Amman, with Daniele Pagani, Bureau Report, WION.
The Israeli Prime Minister is no stranger to using visual props for his big-ticket presentations. Monday's PowerPoint on why he thinks Iran has run afoul of the 2015 nuclear deal was no exception. But beyond the United States, the Silicon Valley-style big reveal did not get the response Bibi was probably looking for. The United Nations atomic watchdog, for instance, has declined to directly address Mr. Netanyahu's accusations, saying, and I'm quoting, "In line with standard IAEA practice, the IAEA evaluates all safeguards, relevant information available to it. However, it is not the practice of the IAEA to publicly discuss issues related to any such information." France took things a step further. In light of Mr. Netanyahu's allegations, its foreign ministry spokesperson said, and I'm quoting again, "This information should be studied and evaluated in detail. The new information presented by Israel could also confirm the need for longer-term assurances on the Iranian program, as the president has proposed." The United Kingdom, meanwhile, has expressed a sentiment almost identical to France. The newly appointed U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, meanwhile, gave an expected thumbs up to Israel's allegations, but even he declined to say whether the documents were evidence of Iran violating the nuclear deal. So despite the hype, some experts and diplomats felt Netanyahu's presentation lacked the smoking gun appeal of a blockbuster revelation. There was consensus, however, that it could strengthen Trump's demand to scrap the deal.
The publication by Prime Minister Netanyahu and its timing was aimed not to pressure President Trump, but to support a decision that was already made by the president. I know that National Security Advisor Bolton has said that the president has not yet made his decision, but my sources in Israeli administration and intelligence claim that they understood from their American counterpart